Oops. Yeah. I knew I felt like there was going to be a problem with that because I forgot to open up the audio file beforehand. Hey, there's Soldier Photos. I thought you bailed on me. And Chloe's absolutely been rambunctious today, running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Although I have to admit I've never seen one actually do that. Yep, a little early today. Yeah. Sometimes I go live a little earlier. Yeah. So, I don't know, you guys probably followed all that drama the last couple days with the, stuff that another YouTuber was doing to everybody else. But for some reason, I became sort of a villain in the whole thing because I wasn't stepping up to the plate to battle the Darth Vader. You know, it was so weird. I mean, I've never seen something turn into such a big epic battle. I feel shitty for the stuff that Oni, that's his name, has done to other people, but I didn't feel any obligation, nor did I want to get involved with that stuff, because when you start attacking and trying to go after the swatters, sometimes you end up being swatted yourself. It's like you create something. The best way to do is just get the police involved, let them handle it, give them the information. But there was just these YouTubers out there that were just bashing me left and right. And I'll give John Crimes did a video where he was defending me because I was on this panel the other night and it was an absolute nightmare. I mean, this guy is just one of the newbies that thinks he's just so great. Shows up and tries to tell me what I'm supposed to cover and what I'm supposed to say, what I'm supposed to do. And he was just an embarrassment. He was like drunk. And he just kept going on and on and on and on and on and on. The thing about doing true crime is, yes, when you're on YouTube and there's things like Crime Con and things like that, you're part of that community. So this is what John Crimes was talking about, is saying there isn't a community. I don't know if I totally agree with that part of it. I am part of the true crime genre is what I would say. Okay? And here's the thing is I don't actually think that other true crime YouTubers should be out promoting other true crime YouTubers. Okay? Because it takes a long time to build up your base, and then if you start promoting other people, then you're splitting out all of your my freak family is over there watching this one and 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 this one. And see, that's where the dilemma is. Why don't you put in the same hard work that the rest of us did that whole time? And yes, there's kind words said here and there by different people and it gives you a boost. But it really takes a long time. You got to sit there and you got to, keep making videos and videos. I mean, how many hours do you think I've spent on the air doing this show now? I mean, I don't even know if I could. I would say in the thousands, right? I mean, well, let's say around over 1,000 hours at least that I've been doing live shows. I would say more like 1,500. And then I made a lot of videos. It took a long time. I didn't even know how to be a YouTuber for years. I didn't even think about it. People were like, Gray, how come you're not doing this? And I just, whatever. But about a year and a half ago, I decided to, try to become a YouTuber as well as my regular work work too. Okay, and I spent a lot of time doing videos. You know, the Kanika Jenkins case was a big one for me. Then we went on to Molly Tibbetts. Then we covered a whole bunch of different cases. And just over time, I've slowly grown the channel. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that still say, oh, Gray, you just covered Delphi. They're just absolute idiots. I mean, what it is that means they don't ever watch my channel. And they really, they're clueless. Right? Oh, wait, hold on a second. Yeah, so the thing is I do my own channel. I'm not part of this group or sort of a clique of YouTubers or anything like that. I'm friends with John Lorden. You know, really just related to, like, we don't call each other up and talk about Thanksgiving and things like that. We communicate about the true crime cases that we cover, and I'm friends with Morph in the same way, things like that. All of you on my channel, I feel like I'm actually friends with. You know what I mean? Like, we're always here every night. We're talking and chatting, and so that's just the way it is. I don't feel an obligation to do what somebody else tells me to do, and especially pressuring somebody into trying to do that. It's ludicrous. I'm just going to do me, and if you don't like me, don't watch me. Okay, that's how it's always been. And also, don't forget, if you think Sandy Hook is fake, unsubscribe immediately. If you think Kanika Jenkins was murdered, get the hell out of here. And as long as we're all good on that, hey, everything's awesome. Yeah. Gray, you need a pack of Newports, 2 wides in a trailer park, and slinging grease because you didn't pay taxes and lost your liquor license. Yeah, wow, I wonder who that could be. Well, thanks, Soldier Photos. I thought you disappeared on me like you were mad at me or something. And I just want to reiterate one last time. The whole Oni thing is Oni was always nice to me, okay? He treated me well. He actually defended me when nobody else would. He did that. And he actually had integrity, too, because he didn't even know I was watching. And he did that. He literally defended me when nobody was around, okay? Now, the thing is when about 3 weeks ago, I went on to a chat, and I said, hey, why are you guys still talking about him? Because prior to that, they had been talking about him getting donations from somebody. Now, I don't know all the total order of everything, because people talk about things one day, then another thing, another day, then another thing. I don't follow the damn thing, okay? So all I know is I heard everybody bitching about him getting donations from people, like scamming them. Okay, and then a while later, 2 weeks later, I heard people still talking. I just heard his name brought up, and I go, oh my God, are you still talking about him again? Okay, but in this case, it turned out to be that he had done a swatting phone call on himself, okay? And then he blamed Jay on it. And that's a total different, that's not even, I mean, to me, it's bad to do that, but it's not anywhere near in the league of actually calling the police on somebody else. And, you know, they didn't turn into swatting events, by the way. Police just showed up at the door and did sort of a welfare check. That's a huge difference than a SWAT team and police bashing down your door saying, drop everything, you know, and cuffing you and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of these people that are talking about this thing with Oni are just bandwagon jumpers. They all want to have something. You know, you look in the chat sometimes and you go, hey, wow, I had this call the other day too, and it was like, wow. So everybody just wants to be part of the me too, everybody. Look at me. I too was, it sucks that it happens to you. It's happened to me 1,000 different times on my show, but you didn't see me eliciting all the other true crime people out there to try to come and help, you know? Well, great, that's because it was pizza. No, it really wasn't. Somebody threatened me physically on the show, and then just moments later, pizza gets delivered at my door. So that person had my address and everything. I just got lucky and figured out. But I didn't go out and make videos and try to pressure people into trying to figure out who the hell it was. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, Jay. I'm just trying to tell you guys how this all went down. Okay? Then, when it turned out later that he literally did do a call where he had police show up to somebody's house, that's a whole different ball game. That's when you got to look at and say, whoa, I can't defend that person anymore. I could still defend him on the calling himself on himself and blaming it on Jay, because we don't know what the hell Jay was doing. You know, I'm not saying that that's right, but there's a lot of shit that goes on between those two that I don't it's a little more complicated, I think. All right? So who knows what happened when he did that. However, when he made the call on somebody else, and I believe that was him doing that, that's when I can't defend him anymore. All right? Yeah, Chloe's just chewing on everything. She chewed a toy up into little bits, and then it made me think, well, what kind of a toy is that? That's not even the right sort of toy. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here. All right? I feel like it's become this huge thing that if you're not talking about it, you're not cool, man. You're not cool if you're not doing a show on, Bash Oni every 2 seconds. I think everybody's got what they wanted to say out there. I think if you contacted the police about him getting, calling the police and having them sent to someone's house, that is an actual crime there. Calling on himself is probably a crime, but I don't know and then blaming it on somebody. It's nowhere near the other one, though, because you're actually putting somebody in a possible dangerous situation when you send police to somebody's house and they're maybe expecting that maybe there's a gun or anything like that. Okay? Does that make sense, everybody? Because I don't really want to talk about it anymore. It's just absolutely drives me bonkers every time. Like after my show at night, I'll flip on YouTube and just kind of decompress, and I'll see a live, and sometimes I don't even know who the hell it is. It'll just say a name that I've never seen it. Turn it on, and boom. They've got like 700 people watching, and they're talking about Oni again. And then they do the thing where it's like a relay race. They go, okay, everybody, now let's go to this other channel, and we'll continue the conversation. We'll just keep a wave of attacking and attacking and attacking. Right? Now, I'm saying he does deserve, whatever happens in terms of the law regarding him, he deserves all that shit, okay? But, man, let's just not all pretend that it's all happened to you, every single one of you out there. I mean, there's so many people now in the chat saying, oh, man, I got this email, and then after I opened the email, like 2 minutes later, my speakers didn't work, and I couldn't hear anything. And then I want to type in, well, you forgot to turn the volume knob up, okay? Yeah, it's not like all of a sudden somebody sent you something. It's amazing how many people want to be involved in it. Now, I know that there are some that I think like Tawanda and others that apparently feel like they were scammed. I don't have the whole story. I've asked to get the story, but they haven't messaged me or anything like that. And unfortunately, some of the people that used to watch my channel bought into all the bullshit being said about me on these other beginning, all the people who came in during the Chris Watts days, the same people making the same stupid comments. They believed what they were saying, and boom. Gray really supports Oni, man. Look at him. He's just as bad. No, I just explained it to you, and I've explained it 50 times already. Anyways, that's about it for that. Yeah, Chloe's just, she just goes nuts. She'll sleep all day and then on the drop of a dime just bang, jump up and start running around. Let me fix her, it was like that weird lighting effect on her back there. I think it went away. Yep. Man. Done that damn... I'm getting my ducts and everything cleaned really soon. So I think I have the Stream Boss working. True Crime Theater 4K has a Stream Boss on up on the screen, so I'm trying it out. It shows up in the upper left-hand corner. I'm not sure what kicks one off or how it actually works, but we'll see. I tried reading about it. Didn't seem to make a lot of sense. Yeah. It just really sucks. And I don't mind if everybody wants to just call themselves drama channels and that's what they do, then just be that. But don't pretend that you have anything to do with true crime. It's, well, Gray, it's a crime what Oni did. Oh, boy. My God. Really? That's where you're going to bank it on? Oh, there you go. Look at that. Up at the top up there. See? I don't know how I didn't show me up there as a boss. I don't know. I'm not sure how it actually works, but... Well, there's one up there. So thank you. Is it only through Streamlabs that the boss is affected, or is it through super chats and things like that? Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Soldier Photos. It's just the reality of it. I mean, I have not gone to one of those channels for a long time where I've actually sat there and went, oh, okay, here we go. I mean, literally, I've never even seen them talking about anything on any of those channels at all. And I know right now I'm not talking about true crime. But you guys, the ones that watch the show all the time know that that's what I do most of the time. Hey. Now, how does this work? Does that one kick in and like bump some of that off that Kevin put up there? Thanks, Curious Georgia.
# Chloe Money Honey.
Chloe Money. Yeah. Hey, listen, Chloe owes me money, all right? I mean, we just spent, gosh, what was it? I think almost $500 on different things, shots and tests and all this stuff. No, I like your channel, True Crime Theater. Plus, you seem like a good guy, so that matters. Wow, Karen K, thank you. Well, hopefully, if this works the way it's supposed to, won't it just blow? Oh, thanks. I'm even sure what number you get for that.
We love you and the Freak family. Integrity means everything.
Well, thank you very much. Man, I don't know. Maybe I don't have it set up right. It looks like I have it there, but it doesn't seem to be. But man, thank you very much, Karen. That was very cool of you. Thank you very much. Well, she's taken over. They were both laying in the same bed for a while today, which I like. Hey, thanks, Cairo. So how is this not working then? The boss, or is that like the default name? Let's see. So, oh, okay. Oh, I see. So, like, that's how it's supposed to start. You have to hit set stream boss, right? Ah, crap. Well, maybe next time, huh? I think I did it right. You set the stream boss, and then it starts over again. I think I was just looking at, like, a default one. But, hey, thank you, Foxy Bot. Okay, does that kick in there? Yes, look at that. See, it did. That one changed it a little bit. It took off the green. All right, but the sad part is Cairo and Karen K would have destroyed that thing in about 2 seconds. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, see now it's working. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I see it. You have to set it to set the stream bot. I think Soldier Photos has a great name. Don't you guys think? You don't miss it. And then she has that photo. It's always the same. I always get confused when there's like a regular and they change their icon. Oh, really? Okay. I don't have to do it every time I start the show or something like that. Okay, there's Amanda. That medical examiner guy called me back today, just to let you know, and he said that he was like, kind of like, yeah, I see what you're saying, and I also see what other people are saying, and then he started saying that he's going to continue to keep digging into it and see what he can find, but he also said that we should get a hold of the sheriff's office and try to do something from that end too. And it's like, oh man, the sheriff's office. But he's still looking into it. Man, I just don't see how you could see anything other than it being not a suicide. I don't even know why there's a murky... The murky gray area is that everybody was on meth. Right? So when everybody tells their story, you know, they feel like they can just accept them not being true and then just say what they want to say. But it's weird that all three of the witnesses don't say anything. There's no suicide in any of those. And I'm sure you've tried to contact the sheriffs a million different times. Right. Okay. Well, maybe I'll try calling them myself. I'll just call over there and say, hey, listen, here's the deal. So, and how come the stream boss doesn't stay up? Does it disappear after a while? True Crime Theater? Okay. Because, like, you know how I was watching yours and you could see it stay up there. Maybe there's a setting that you have to set. I don't know. Yeah, well, I wonder if there's a setting for that where you have to click on it where it doesn't go away. Let's see. I don't know. Don't know. Have no idea. Yeah, I think you have to have a Google account if you have a. Yeah, it's the very highest one. It's on the very top. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to see it at all if it was below the bricks, right? Like, even when somebody donates, it doesn't pop up to the top. You just saw the. Let's see. So the whole Harvey Weinstein is on a walker as he goes into the New York criminal court next month. Yeah. Poor Harvey. I mean, doesn't everybody feel sorry for Harvey Weinstein? And by the way, that's sarcasm, all right? For those left behind with the, well, a few nuggets short of a Happy Meal, I guess. Yeah, I feel really bad for him. You know? Yeah, he's right up there with this guy. Dahmer. Not quite, but he is serial rapist, right? Yeah, this guy seemed like he was still gonna. I think what the problem is with the case is that everybody's on meth, and then if you switch it to something, what do they do now? They could look at it, but then any defense attorney of the victim, I mean not the victim, the guy with the Mark, should be able to get him off by saying, well, how come their stories changed? Was it the meth? And then it'll just be a shit show at that point. But all I care about is just switch it, take off suicide, okay? I've said that a million times. And that's where I'm going to that's where I'm not, I'm not going to be involved anymore after I try my hardest to get suicide taken off of that. The rest of it is all stuff that the police handle, and they would know. But I just think it's dumb that it has that on there. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody... It sounds like there was other stories, though. He kind of told me that there was other versions of events prior, and then there's just multiple versions of the stories. But I would tend to believe the ones when they're sober, right? But now their memory could have been tainted by taking meth, right? He did say he sees what I'm saying, and that he's kind of in this weird place. I don't know why, though. I mean, I sort of get why. I mean, there's probably pressure. If you change something like that, then it causes problems, and then what would you really do after you changed it? In their minds, because you can't use anybody's testimonies because they were all on meth at the time. I mean, that's one of the things too, is that she said that Brandy said in her written statement that they were offered meth but they didn't take it, and yet they seem to have meth in their system, or at least DJ did. So was it just remnants from another time? Like, how long does it stay in your system? That kind of thing. No, that's what the problem is. That's the problem, Alicia. No, the problem is law enforcement is the one determining it. I think if I was, and this is a perfect case where more information should be given to the medical examiner. They should have been able to see that interrogation of Mark. Right? Because as soon as you see the interrogation of Mark, you would say, oh, wait a minute. So he didn't even have his hand on the trigger. And it literally, Mark is claiming that Brandy, by pulling Mark's arm back, fired the gun. Well, at that point, suicide is no longer an option in the findings. And here, I do have a perfect analogy for it. And the analogy is, if somebody was about to jump off a bridge, they're just standing there looking into the water, contemplating jumping, and then you went up to help them, and then you tripped and fell into them and knocked them off, and you lived. Is that still a suicide at that point? I mean, it's a perfect analogy. It's not missing on anything. There's no element that's missing. So what do you think? If somebody's standing on the edge of a bridge, looking into the water, contemplating jumping, and then you go up to help, but you trip and fall, and you fell into them, and they fell off the bridge and died. Right. It's definitely not a suicide at that point. It's an accidental death. Yep. Well, Mark, well, here's the thing is, Mark says the gun was on the couch next to DJ, all right? That's what Mark said. And then the two other witnesses said Mark came out of the room with the gun. The buddy of his, you know, the guy that was in jail, he said, well, he came out and he didn't mean to shoot him, but he did. And then the wife said, no, he came out pissed, shot, and killed him. So the best version of the story, it's amazing how perfectly it works. The best version of the story, the happier, you know, the least nefarious version is the one that Mark tells. And then the second, then you get more nefarious when you speak to the guy that's in jail. And then it's just murder when you talk to Brandy. But there isn't one version that says that DJ shot himself. And that's where I have a hard time getting over that. Oh, okay. Fade to 0. Let me check that out. And is it under visual settings or... Let's see. Oh, fade time. Oh, there you go. All right, cool. Thanks, man. My eye saw that same exact slider. It just didn't register. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was just kind of a weird call when that guy called today. He called me at 7:30 my time. I was still out cold. And, you know, I realized that his time, it's probably 10:30. But, you know, he was just saying that it's not cut and dry like I think, but he sees what I'm saying, and he's going to keep looking into it. But our best bet is to get a hold of the sheriff's department so they can direct them to change it. Well, that's what the problem is, okay? That's where the problem is. It's crazy. Anyways, we'll keep on plugging away. I'll check in with that guy. I think I'm going to just have to make a call to the sheriff's department. Not that I'm just a regular person in society, everybody. I don't have connections to the CIA, FBI, NSA, or any kind of weird covert organization. Of course, people think that, oh my God, Gray, you were at the counter in the hotel in the Kanika Jenkins case. You notice the white goatee you've got and glasses? Because nobody else in the world actually has those things. Well, he just wanted to let me know where he was at right now. I don't mind him calling me. You know, he said he was just going to keep kind of digging around. I don't want to wait like a month or something. But I don't want you... okay, well, just email me that stuff, Amanda. I don't want to have people's names out there anymore. This guy, he was actually nervous about, like, his job, you know, which is kind of a cool thing, because that means he knows he's looking at something that's, something that may be politically incorrect. That's right, I was paid by the family. Oh man, Karen K, you just gonna wipe that off the face of the earth up there. How come it switched over to my name again though? I gotta figure this out. But thank you, Karen K.
To put towards the donation for the first of the month.
Excellent. Yep, the first of the month is getting up there. Ray, you're a fixer. Please fix. How come it didn't switch over to her name now? I'm confused, man. I got to figure out how this damn thing works. It reset the whole thing. Yep. But it changed. It made my name up there. Oh, it is. Jesus. And she... That's hilarious. And she was sleeping with it like that. Thank you. Wow, that was weird. I don't know how you could see it so well, but it was actually sleeping like that. That's some crazy shit. There she is. Now she's all good. I'm telling you, she's about the laziest dog in the world, though. I mean, she's... it's like, oh, okay, I got this stuck in my mouth. Okay. You alright, bud? That was one of the freaks that saved you, man. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to go over some cases now really quick. Let me get off the screen. Sorry about why it didn't put Karen K up on. Should have been the stream boss up there. It replaced all the numbers, but it didn't put her name. I don't know why. Guess we'll figure that out later. Yeah, they both sleep a lot. Okay, remember the case we were talking about with the last couple days, or maybe just yesterday, I think? The body in a recycling bin. All right, here we go.
County police have now identified that person.
But they say they are not ready to release the name yet. Workers found the body while sorting recycling last Tuesday.
WJZ investigator Mike Helgren is live at police headquarters in Towson with the latest information. Mike.
Well, Vic and Denise, this person we've learned has family in Maryland, and police were able to make a positive identification with very little to go on. They only had this person's torso.
Baltimore County Police confirmed to WJZ the body discovered wrapped in a tarp at a recycling facility in Cockeysville earlier.
And what that probably means is that there's body parts all over the place. What was kind of cool is this one lady said exactly what I said on the show last night on how they could track down. But you kind of wonder, are the arms put somewhere else and the head somewhere else and the legs somewhere else?
Earlier this week had been dismembered. The head, legs, and arms all gone.
It's so early on in this investigation that we cannot rule out any possibility, including any possible gang affiliations.
Police also say they have identified the victim and are in the process of notifying next of kin.
Now that we've identified the person, we will investigate aspects of that person's life to determine if there was something going on, enemies that they had.
A source tells us workers heard a loud thump. They tried to grab the object, but it was too heavy.
Oh boy.
Workers had to pause the belt to remove it. They initially thought it may be a Halloween decoration or a mannequin. When they learned it was a body, they contacted police.
It's disturbing because this society is not really doing well.
Oh, I agree with that.
That recycling facility, one of 3 in Baltimore County, serves a large area, taking in recyclables from not only Baltimore County, but also Harford and Cecil counties. Police are now trying to track down where the body was dumped.
As far as looking for additional evidence, such as the limbs that are missing from this torso, yes, we are looking for them, but it's not pertinent to the investigation necessarily that we find them.
Right.
And they're not sure they'll ever
Although,
be able
maybe
to find
cause
them.
of
They
death.
are trying to look at surveillance video in this case, and they don't believe this was just dumped into someone's home recycling bin, but rather a recycling bin at like an apartment complex or a...
See, that's exactly what I was thinking. Let's see. So here's another one. They actually have identified him, though. It's this guy right here. And his name is John Ernest Stevens, born January 24th, 1977, 42 years old, 5'10", 178 pounds. You can see what he looks like right there. Let's see what this says.
Baltimore County Police are releasing new details about a body found in a landfill yesterday afternoon. Police are now saying it was not dumped from a personal vehicle, rather brought in on a recycling truck. Workers separating the items then found a tarp with a horrible discovery inside. The trouble for police is that the plant collects materials from several sources, including from Harford and Cecil counties, which also use the facility.
Our intention at this point is to try to isolate the truck that
Here we
the
go.
body came in
I
on.
said this.
And then from there, we will determine what route that truck took. And hopefully that will lead us in a direction of investigation.
An autopsy is being conducted by the
Yeah, but a smart killer like that would cut the body up and then just drive around to random places and dump. But what you could do is if you could find cameras at various locations, you know, even ring cameras that are on the way to and from various containers, you might actually stumble upon a video of the person driving around dumping the bodies, or the body parts, excuse me. That's in Maryland. That's where it's at. And let's see, there was another down here. It says Baltimore County Police confirmed the body found in a recycling center in Cockeysville earlier this week had been dismembered, limbs and head gone. Police have identified the person but are not ready to release the name yet. Now here's another thing. It says the man whose body was found at a recycling facility in Baltimore County had been reported missing by Laurel police earlier this month. So this is actually somebody that was reported missing. So somebody, family members and so forth, cared enough about him to report him missing. An autopsy is still ongoing, but Baltimore County Police said they're fairly confident the death will be ruled a homicide. Yeah, you think so? Huh, I'm shocked. How about you guys? You know, I doubt he was walking down the street and then fell on some weird blades that were on the ground. And then his head rolled in one direction, and an arm that way, and an arm that way, and a leg that way, and a leg that way. And then somebody said, oh, crap, look at this. What a mess. It's messing up the street. And then just put it into a recycling bin. Right, it was a suicide. That sounds about like the determination in the DJ Fickey case, right? Yeah, it was a suicide. It was hard. The hardest part was, here's what the hardest part was in the suicide, was that he cut both legs off, and he had and an arm, and he had one arm left. So what he had to do was he quickly sliced his head off and then threw the knife up in the air and then he knew that he could fall down, and then the blade came tumbling down and sliced off the other arm at the last second. Man, freaking miracle. I mean, you got to admit, that's it's weird when they say we suspect foul play. Well, in my book, it's foul play no matter what. So even if this guy, this is about the 20th time I'm going to say this, even if this guy was over at somebody's house doing drugs and he accidentally died, and the first thought of the friend or the person he was doing drugs with was, you know what we need to do? We need to chop him up into bits and then drop him off all around town. I think, see, for me, that person's just as bad as the rest of them. I mean, anybody who can chop body parts up and they're not a doctor, something's wrong with you. Hey, thanks, Cindy Lou. And wow, D-Plant. So what is it doing up on the, let me switch it over to the Stream Boss. Is it doing anything? Oh, there you go. Somehow D-Plant got put up there. So there you go. You're the Stream Boss now. So that worked, but for some reason Karen K didn't work. But thank you all very much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, what's going on with the boss? Now you can see it up there. It says D LaPlante. All right. I think I just said plant. I'm going to move the Stream Boss over to the other screen too, so hold on. All right. And now you can see it at the top up there. I wonder what this will end up being. That seems like it's just absolutely brutal. Cut his arms, legs, everything off. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, it has that. I mean, gangs and other things like that sometimes do these same types of killings where they cut arms off and body parts. But, you know, who knows? I mean, he's 42 years old. That's a little older to be doing anything like that. And he had family members that called him in as missing. Hey, thanks, D. LaPlante. I haven't seen you comment much, but I appreciate you watching. Very cool. All right. Yeah, this seems a little old for a gang member. I don't know. I mean, that's not standard, right? But sure. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's a gang member. I'm just saying that's a lot of times that's the stuff that happens. And it's usually there's a specific gang out there that does that kind of stuff. All right? Yeah, could be a lot of things, really. We'll have to wait and see. But I think it would be important to find, in this case, find the other body parts, because it might actually give you the cause of death, and there might even be forensic information in finding those body parts. Like, let's say you found the head, and then there's a bullet, right? Okay. And by the way, the podcast is, even though it's just the 5-minute, like just a sample, it's shooting up the charts. I think it's, earlier today it was 119th on the true crime charts, and there's hundreds and hundreds of them. So that's kind of cool. That just, and it's not even out yet. So imagine when it's out and people are listening to it. What racetrack? This thing on the screen isn't related. This is Lowell High School here. It's not related to what we're doing. I'm going to go to these cases that I have. I stored some cases in a folder today. There's not a lot of information on them, but a couple of them have been solved again. And I think this is interesting. So this one is a John Doe from 1970, or excuse me, Jane Doe from 1976. And here is the original article. Body in Lake Merced. Well, hold on a second. Where am I right now? Yeah, that's in San Francisco that we were looking at right here. That's what I thought. So the body of a young woman dead for 4 to 6 weeks was uncovered late yesterday afternoon in a shallow grave. And again, everybody, have you ever heard the use of the word shallow grave in a positive way? Beside Lake Merced. An autopsy will be performed today on the brown-haired woman believed to be in her late teens or early 20s. Her body was discovered at 4:30 p.m. yesterday by Donald McIsaac, 17, who was hunting for turtle eggs near Lowell High School. Man, turtle eggs, huh? So that was on October 2nd. Uh-oh, Chloe looks like she's up to no good over there. I'm gonna let her outside really quick. Come on, Blue, come on. Come on, buddy. Yep, sorry about that. Whenever you see her sniffing around, it's gonna be real quick when she just squats down. I have to get her to realize that she can just go to the door and I'll let her out. She's had a few messes at this point. Her body was discovered at 4:30 p.m. yesterday by Donald McIsaac, 17, who was hunting for turtle eggs near Laurel High School. Okay, and then the next day there was an article, and then there was no more articles that I could find ever again. Police are attempting to identify the body of a young Asian woman found buried in the sand near Lake Merced. Homicide Inspector Hubert Nelson said yesterday. The body was found Friday afternoon by Donald McIsaac, 17, who was hunting turtle eggs. Nelson said the woman appeared to be between the age of 14 and 20 and had been dead 4 to 6 weeks. Nelson said she was 5'1" and weighed less than 100 pounds. She was wearing size 12 denim pants, calf-length nylon hose, a blue and white blouse, and a zigzag pattern and gray pullover sweatshirt with a zipper opening. In her pants pocket was a gold chain on which was a small golden owl. On her left hand was a narrow braided leather ring. Her pierced ears held small round gold earrings. Nelson said he hoped anyone who can identify the body will phone the Homicide Bureau. Okay, that's way back in the day. I don't need to give out the phone number. Well, just now, I mean, this article's from today. New Jersey-based aunt, cops help ID remains of child in decades-old cold case. After nearly half a century, and, you know, let's just look at the map really quick. Apparently the kid was over here by the high school, Lowell High School, and it was near like a water pump, so I don't really know. It's hard to know for sure where in this area, but maybe just right around in this area is where she was found. And I guess she was just buried in a shallow grave in this area. And there's the dogs barking, so I'm going to go let them in now really quick. Wow, she ran in the house at Mach 10, man. But Blue always goes outside when she goes outside. It's almost like he doesn't really like her yet, but he still goes out. Probably make sure she's okay. But man, when she runs into the house, it's literally like a blur. Just zipping by, and then she runs into Blue's crate, then runs out of Blue's crate, then runs back into... It's wild. So, anyways, this is where she was found in 1976, somewhere around in this area, on this lake here. And nobody said anything about her. I mean, I think it's just bizarre to me. You know, nobody came forward at all. It was October 1st, 1976, when a man walking his dog discovered a hand producing from the sand behind a pumping station in Lake Merced, San Francisco. California detectives subsequently determined that the victim was a young Asian girl whose body was found with distinctive jewelry. So here we go again with this jewelry information, including a gold chain and owl necklace found in her pocket. Wouldn't it be interesting, though, if the owl necklace wasn't hers and that was put there to throw people off? You know, I've never heard that happening, but man, what a crazy little trick that would be for a killer to do. Put other items into somebody's pocket that aren't really theirs. Now you're going to say, great, don't give them the ideas. I'm sure they thought of it. California detectives subsequently determined that the victim was a young Asian girl whose body was found with distinctive jewelry, including a gold chain and owl necklace found in her pocket. The young girl's death was ruled a homicide. Years later, a man named William Shin, so that'd be, I think that, I'm not sure if that's Korean. A lot of times, Korean and Chinese usually have one syllable names, and then Japanese has the multiple. And Shin, I've known a Shin that was Korean, so maybe it could either be Chinese or Korean. But years later, a man named William Shin told police in San Francisco that he remembered having a sister when he was a child who went missing at age 14. Really? Nobody said anything, though? When you saw it in the paper, nobody noticed, though. And that nobody in his family had seen or heard from her since 1976. As a result, San Francisco police began to think that the remains discovered in 1976 were Judy Gifford's. So they tracked down a paternal aunt of Judy's, Augie Gifford, in Southampton, New Jersey, so about as far away as you can possibly get from San Francisco. That's when they contacted New Jersey State Police for help, okay? It turned out Augie Gifford never changed her phone number as she held on for decades to the hope that her missing niece would call. Wow. So she didn't change her phone all that time. But how come nobody mentioned anything to the police? You know, it's so long ago. 1976. What kind of serial killers? Was Bundy moving around in San Francisco around that time? It turned out Augie Gifford never changed her phone number as she held out hope that she would call, that Judy would call at some point. It was June when New Jersey State Police detective this year, Sergeant Aaron McCullough, I'll just call him Aaron. Let's see. He met up with and another detective named Jeff Greco from the New Jersey State Police Missing Persons Unit met with Augie Gifford, or O.G. Gifford, and collected a DNA sample, dental records, and photographs, including some photos in which a young Judy Gifford is pictured wearing a gold chain and an owl pendant necklace. Well, look at that. That is an owl. I didn't even notice that when I first looked at it. That's wild. I wonder why it was in her pocket, though. I think the killer put it in her pocket. I don't think a girl, you know, would have a chain, a necklace like that in her pocket in general. What do you guys think of that? Does it feel like the killer put the necklace in her pocket? Or maybe she was running from somebody, took it off, put it in her pocket. Oh, God. Yeah, maybe aliens, too, Jessica. We just don't know at this point. I think it's in her pocket. How about this? It's in her pocket because of something to do with the person who killed her, though. I mean, it seems weird that you would... Oh, miraculously that day it broke and then it was in your pocket. It seems like it would have has something to do with it. And the killer, you know, maybe put it in the pocket to keep it hidden, thinking that nobody would find her, I guess. But yeah, it could have been a Bigfoot. We just don't know at this point. Hey, thank you for joining the channel. Did that affect... Oh, look at that. It dropped... you knocked into the stream boss, D. LaPlante, a little bit. I see it. It's dropped down a little bit. I'm just kidding with you guys, by the way. Yeah, I mean, it's very possible it broke and she just randomly had it in her pocket. Okay? Just as possible as anything else at this point, since we don't even know. Hey, Sassmare. Awesome. You've now got blue next to your face, but you'll be getting Chloe later than some other people. Well, no, you're still up there, D. LaPlante, but, yeah. After nearly half a century, New Jersey State Police used newly gathered DNA evidence from a hopeful aunt to help investigators in San Francisco identify the remains of a murdered 14-year-old girl. So that's really what the whole story is about. And it says, it was in June when New Jersey State Police Sergeant, we were just talking about that, and they saw the image of her. The aunt actually had an image of Judy with the owl necklace, the same as the jewelry found on the unidentified teen girl decades ago. That must have been such a cool moment to have, like, the police have this necklace in their hands in an evidence box or bag somewhere. Oh my God, Chloe's going nuts over here. Here, let me see if I can have you guys see this. You guys see that? She's going absolutely wild over there. Come on, Chloe. Yep, that was me. You can see the Chihuahua ears. Oh boy, here we go. Okay. And yes, I do hold Blue quite a few times a day just so he doesn't feel left out. All right. Yeah, she's awesome. I don't know if she'll get much bigger. I'm thinking maybe a pound or two, but I don't know. She's actually 5 months old. After 43 years, but that's what I was trying to say. Don't you think that would be amazing to be one of the detectives? They've probably looked into it over the years, obviously, because they were still looking into it. Or maybe somebody came forward and they had the evidence bag and they're looking at this owl, and then they get this photo from the aunt, and there's the owl, and you're just 100% sure at that moment. You don't. I mean, I would actually be absolutely sure at that point, even though you got to do all the technical DNA work, all that kind of stuff. Days later, on November 22nd, let's see. After 43 years of not having a name. On November 14th, the California Department of Justice announced that the remains of Jane Doe found in 1976 were positively identified as that of Judy Gifford. Days later, on November 22nd, Augie Gifford was personally notified that her niece was indeed the young girl found almost half a century ago. The case remains an active investigation led by San Francisco Police Department. Man, that's what's so sad, that she wasn't identified so much earlier, because then a possible suspect could be identified quickly. I wonder if they can, I don't know if where she was buried. Maybe they still have her remains, and maybe the FBI can extract some DNA somehow. It's probably an assault, of some sexual assault, I would imagine. But maybe not, It's a little concerning that nobody in the family seemed to report her missing. So you wonder what's up with that. And just the one aunt remembers her, and she lives about as far away as you can get. Well, it didn't sound like it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe there could be some DNA somewhere. I would actually think of exhuming her if she's buried and see what they can get out, although hopefully they didn't bury her in the same clothing and they kept the clothing. And they can just do tests on that. I doubt they would just throw away the clothes. Huh? I didn't see anything by Dplant. I mean, Dplant sent in the donation. I haven't been able to see every comment though. Oh, let's see. Gray, I don't talk a lot, but I have followed you since Jodi Arias. It doesn't make me better, but I always fantasize of the young being a, fantasize of you being a dreamboat. I wasn't disappointed. Okay. I'm not really a dreamboat. Okay, I'm old. But thank you. I'll take a compliment. Oh, yeah? Well, it's weird. I kind of got suckered into having my face out there. And it took me a long time to even use my voice. I don't even know what made me start using my voice. I didn't do the voice at all during Arias, McStay. I started using my voice during the very first time I used my voice on a YouTube video was the Libby and Abby case. It was the debunking number 1 video. Okay, I think that was it. I think that was my very first time I ever used my own voice. So that's only 2, well, I guess it's getting pretty close to 3 years ago. Well, thank you, everybody. That's right. I am a shipwreck. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. Yeah, I do think I do look younger than other people that are 54. Because I'm 54. I just turned 54. More like a shipwreck. That's pretty good. True Crime Theater. Oh, cool. Jessica Schubach. Yeah. I know. I'm old as dirt at this point. I think you're about right, though. See, here's one of my biggest problems is that when I was in college, I played basketball all the time. Like, I played basketball. I didn't give a shit about school for the first 2 or 3 years of college. And I played basketball 4 or 5. Like, literally, I'd get there at about 6 o'clock and play to 11. I mean, I just played. And then after college, I'd go to all the parks, you know, and play street ball on the cement and play for hours and hours and hours and hours. And then there was just a time when I was 35 about where I just literally, I couldn't play anymore. I mean, it was weird. I just literally was broken down. I remember thinking, oh, it was like 2 years after that, I go, okay, I'm going to go. And I thought, wow, for a second I thought Colleen was Colleen Fitzpatrick. I was like, whoa, but it's Colleen Fitzgerald. Maybe you're related somehow in the Fitz family. That's a joke. Yeah, but I went to a gym and I was playing basketball. And I was on a fast break. I hadn't played in like a year, I think it was. Maybe not 2 years, like a year. And the guy threw me the ball and I was, you know, out and I was going to go do a layup. But I couldn't stop myself. Like, I was literally dribbling, and I just went, whoa, and just hucked the ball up in the air to hit the bottom of the rim, and then I just crashed into the wall. There's actually muscles that we have that stop ourselves from when we're running. I didn't know that. It was weird. I mean, it was one of the weirdest things ever. Normally, I was like really quick. I could, boom, stop on a dime, go in a different direction. I was tricky, had all these trick moves, you know, cool passes where you'd be at the parks and people would give you a high five that weren't even playing. You know, and then that day, that was it. That was the last time I ever played a game of basketball. Because I wouldn't even call that a game. It was more of just a travesty. Yeah, that's true. You're right. If YouTube was around, that would be played over. It would be a GIF. All right? It would be a meme, first of all. Probably my face planted against the wall. And then the GIF would be me just not being able to stop, threw the ball up in the air. It was just horrible. Oh, here's one here. Convicted killer charged in grisly 1980 case. Was it control minus? It's hard to, such a big face. Doesn't they just look like a serial killer? Nearly 40 years after a 19-year-old mother was raped and killed in a Boston hotel, the man authorities believe is responsible for her death has been charged. The Suffolk District Attorney's Office announced Thursday. Stephen Fike, a convicted rapist and murderer currently in prison in Alabama, was charged with rape and first-degree murder Wednesday in connection with the cold case of Wendy Dansereau, who was found sexually assaulted and strangled to death inside a room at the Hotel Diplomat in the South End of March. In March 18th, 1980. I think it's Dansereau had just given birth to a daughter 4 weeks before her death. Miss Dansereau's family has waited nearly 4 decades to know what happened to her. Authorities said they were able to identify Fike as Dansereau's alleged killer by entering a DNA sample that was collected during the early stages of the investigation. Man, it's amazing when they store DNA well after such a long period of time. That it actually is usable after 40 years. Fike is currently serving a life sentence with the possibility of parole in the Elmore Correctional Facility, a medium security prison in Elmore, Alabama, according to the Alabama Department of Corrections website. In addition to DNA and physical evidence, officials said that police reports placed Fike in New England the day before Danzero's body was found. It's always good to have that. We may not be able to provide every family the answers that we have found for Mrs. Danzero's loved ones, but we can let every survivor of homicide know that we remember their loved one and we remain committed to solving their murder. We will continue to work on their behalf and we will not rest. There is no statute of limitations on murder. So, there you go. A case solved. I wonder if she's in... Let's see if we can find this one really quick. So it's Alabama, right? Let's see if it's in there. So 1980. Yeah, I've been going over my drone Part 107B training courses. I'm about 20% through. And then I can use it on my channel and so forth. As in terms of having it be part of the show. You know, investigations. Like there's a lot of cases around here that are cold cases that I could go out and film and it'd be interesting. I bet you her name, Wendy Danzero, would just show up immediately, right? I mean, how many of them are there? I guess. So it's Alabama, 1980. I guess there's none. It is Alabama, right? Alabama. Well, no, he's in the Alabama Corrections. So where is, let's see, convicted of rape, attorney's office. Danzero had just given birth. Family was waiting. I thought they said Suffolk County. Do you know what state that is? Yeah, that's New York, right? Because I thought they said Suffolk in there. That's sort of in the same area that Long Island serial killer, right? Yeah, okay, so let's try that again. That's just where he's staying in Alabama, so let's try this. Or not staying, he's not on a leisurely trip, he's in prison. And what this could be it. No. Man, how could there be two Wendy Danzeros? I mean, I've never even seen Danzero before. I guess New York has that many people, though. Oh, is it Virginia? Let's try that. I don't have a clue. The article doesn't give a state. It seems like they often do that in these articles. They just sort of make it seem like everybody should just know. Is there? Yeah. Oh, Boston, right? Okay, Boston is where it is. Boston. Yeah, I see it right here, Boston. Oh, I guess people are just now typing in Boston right now. Okay. Now we've got something. The father and two sisters of Wendy Danzero agree that she was living dangerously, but they find it hard to believe she was strangled in a Boston hotel room. Yeah, I wonder if she was a prostitute. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, this is a longer one. Let's check this out. It would have been easier for her sister to believe Wendy Joyce Danzero had died of a drug overdose or committed suicide, but I can't believe she was murdered, said her sister Brenda Haslam, 24. She was streetwise. She knew how to take care of herself. Haslam and another 15-year-old sister, Amy, sat in their father's Worcester kitchen yesterday trying to piece together events in Danzero's life that ended Tuesday in a room in a hotel Diplomat in the South End. Wendy was 19. The medical examiner report said she was strangled. Police Lieutenant Arthur Kelly, head of Boston's homicide unit, said yesterday there are no suspects in the case. Danzero gave birth to a baby girl 3 weeks ago. For the past 2 months, she had been staying with Haslam in Westerford. Danzero's father, William R. Danzero, a machinist at a Worcester firm, identified his daughter's body Tuesday night. The picture her family paints of Wendy Joyce's life is a mix of unhappy foster homes. I think that's my phone. Let's see. Unhappy foster homes, drug experimentation, flirtation. I have to get... Yeah. That was my wife. She's going to be heading home here in a little bit. Alright, so where were we? The father said his 6 children... Let's see. The picture of her family paints of Wendy Joyce's life is a mix of unhappy foster homes, drug experimentation, flirtations with prostitution, there you go, and brushes with the law. Well, I mean, that's a family sort of minimizing. If you're going to say flirtations with prostitution, that means she did do that. Their father said his 6 children had been taken under protective custody by the state 11 years ago. Their mother is institutionalized. My wife had mental problems and they would run all over. I would come from work and couldn't get them all together. One would be one place and another place, he said of his children. There were also drinking problems on both of our parts, so the problem isn't only on one side. That's kind of weird that they're just talking about all this shit. Danzero had been arrested twice for disorderly conduct and once for prostitution in Worcester, her family said. Amy said police had confiscated heroin and syringe from Danzero during one arrest. Yeah. And obviously, I mean, it's pretty obvious that that's why she was in the hotel. Probably another prostitution event. And now we've got, I think this guy's going to be a serial killer again. Because he's in prison now for killing somebody else. So how many more people do you think he killed? Because now he's associated with her. I mean, we know now there's at least 2, right? And these people don't just go, oh, okay, it was 1976, and then you did another one. Hey. Well, it's good to have you here, D. LaPlante. I'll try to see you. I haven't seen you in the chat much, but you should join in more often. Thank you very much. Thanks for the kind words, too. Oh. Oh, and by the way, okay, I don't know if there's much more on this. She left the house Saturday. Okay, here's this part. Let's see. She left my house Saturday on the 2:14 train so that she could come to Boston and set up house. She was supposed to return Monday at Waterford, but when she didn't, I didn't worry. She's the kind of girl who would always be late. We expected her to end up some bad way, maybe a drug overdose or suicide, like she got fed up with her life, but never murder. Yeah, and that's really about all there was in there. No more articles. Just went cold as hell. And the police, the newspapers and such aren't as interested in cases like this that involve prostitution and heroin and things like that. She didn't make the interesting victim that the news likes. You know, sort of like the Lumberton 3, right? We gotta do Lumberton again. Start all over again. You know, do a whole nother series on that one. I'd like to actually get the family member. I do have contact information with Rhonda Jones's sister and mother. Yeah. Same old thing over and over again. Hey, and by the way, Tammy Sutherland is a moderator now. Yeah, I think I do have some images actually of my. This is my wife does all of our Christmas lights. You guys want to see this? It's pretty crazy. And I took these with my Mavic Mini. Well, here's actually a video. Let's see. I was trying to get this cool shot, so let's see. I got the drone up here. Now let's see how cool this would be for Christmas. You guys can see it quick. Here it goes. It's on the roof and it's backing out. And I don't really care if my address is out. Everybody knows what my address is if they want it. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Look at that, huh? You even got the owl out there. Now these are some pictures here. Okay. Yeah, she even has them way over here. So we have one of those cool yards, right? That looks like one of those the streets that you want to walk on during Christmas. Now I just hope it snows. It'll be cool. Yeah, I think that's about it. All right. So there you go. I'll tell her how much you guys liked them. Yeah. I don't know how much people would pay for somebody to do something like that, but I think she just really likes to do it. Like for Halloween, she starts setting that sucker up 1st of October. And then as soon as Halloween's over, she already starts replacing the lights with Christmas lights. So a lot of the lights have already been up since November, early November. Yeah. I don't do any of it, okay? She literally just wants to do it. Goes outside and just starts putting it up. I used to actually help with some of these. Like I'd put these ones up here. But you guys remember Shedgate, right? So one year she had the clip-on lights here and they all blew down. So before she got home, I went around and put every 18 inches or so a hook. And man, it's just so much easier all the way around. The hooks that go all the way up around and all the way around. And that's right when that lady came in. Hey, buddy, thanks. Did it? Oh, look at that. You almost took LaPlante off the board. You almost did it, man.
I'm buying her lunch tomorrow. The Christmas lights are awesome, but Halloween was even better.
Wow, I'm going to get rid of that voice immediately. Thanks, Streamlabs. Yeah, so she does the whole thing. Because we have one of those little rods now that she can put them up. I do, every once in a while she'll go, hey, can you help with this? And I'll do it, but it's just sort of her deal. Yeah. Yep. I'll take her to dinner. Thanks, everybody. So, well, I think that's about it, everybody. I appreciate you guys listening to me at the beginning, just talking about what the deal is. I don't consider myself part of some sort of fraternity community of true crime. I do my own show, and true crime is the genre, and then I'm friends with some people in the true crime. I don't have like a clique that I hang out with. You guys are my clique, you know, the freak family. That's my clique. I hope that's okay. So when you get some rodeo clown saying, "Hey, Gray, you got to do this, or you're letting us all down," as if I have some magic button that I can click on and solve a case like that. That's right, rodeo clown. That's in the emoticons, everybody. The rodeo clown. Rodocon. I like that. Yeah, we have one of those little Santas that climb up a ladder. And I think Makeup Mobster has the exact same one. Yeah, he really is. You know, it was crazy. He thought he was going to come onto the show and be this bigwig true crime guy that was just going to be like, yeah. I don't agree that his heart was in the right place. I think he was literally just trying to be like this big shot, out of nowhere, where people were just going to sub to him like he was really interesting. And it really wasn't reality whatsoever. It was, I remember after the show, I was embarrassed, not for me, but for him. Well, thank you, FoxyBot. Yeah. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, he was like wasted. That made it worse. I don't think he's a good person. I've seen him in other chats do the same every time I show up. So I don't agree with you there, River Soloway. Every time I show up, he tries to throw in little more jabs, and it's just not working. I don't want to work something out with him. I'm not. I'm not interested. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's just one of the typical new true crime YouTubers that show up, act really disrespectful, and are jackasses. And I'm just not interested in doing anything with that person. He's not interesting whatsoever. Okay, so you can go watch him all day. It's fine. I think what he does is shameful. It's embarrassing, and not for me. Right, there you go. Well, good buddies with the wrong person there. No, that's cool that you watch both, but you shouldn't be watching that guy. I don't even know if you know who I'm talking about, but that guy is just a wow. Yeah, no, if you want to watch those guys for the drama, sure, that's fine. Just realize that's what you're watching. I'm okay with that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you're watching them for drama, that's great. But they don't have the ability to switch over to true crime because they will make it about drama really quick, and it won't even be interesting. Well, it'll be interesting for people who like drama. Right, they want to call it crama. See, like crime and drama together. I mean, really? Should that even exist? Right. I'm not sure what you would watch him for, though. Like, what's he do that's interesting? You mean the drama part? Sure. Okay. That's fine. Well, thanks, Kim. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Cairo. And look at that. You know, that cat looks a lot like an owl, to be honest with you. And blue and boom. One of these days, Cairo's really a blue. He won't put Chloe out there, but he's going to be forced to have Chloe next to his face when he makes it to the 2nd month. Or here's what Cairo's going to do. He's going to unsubscribe as a member every month and then resubscribe again, starting over again, and he'll just perpetually have blue. Oh, man. Oh, you got that? Yeah, it's a great picture. I just saw it on my phone. I was like, oh, shit. It's a picture of Cairo in blue. I'll show that, I don't know, tomorrow probably. Yeah, that's what I think too, FoxyBot. There's no such thing as crama. I think, well, here's what I think. I think crama, if you want to call it that, is the reason that true crime as a whole has been demonetized. It's because of them. They've ruined it. They just spread around like wildfire and literally just make a mockery of the entire thing. Yeah. Look at that. Kim's going to have a sore forehead here in a minute. She bashed her forehead, then smiled. And then she hit it again and even had a bigger laugh on it. Or maybe it's the other way around. The first one, she laughed so hard, tears were coming out. And the second one, it hurt a little bit, so she could just muster up a laugh. Find that entertaining. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you might have your own little niche there. True Crime Theater, 4K. You do your police blotter thing and, some, sort of goofy, weird cases that show up sometimes. Well, a lot of people that once did makeup switch over to true crime, and they just take off because what I've actually asked people, why do you watch them? What makes them more interesting than somebody else? And they say, oh man, it's so great to watch them, see what kind of makeup they have on and the new look that they might have. And then I was thinking, well, what does that got to do with the crime, the true crime part of it? Hey, good night, Stacy. Yeah, the freak click. All right, I'll accept that. It's a huge click though. I think right now, what do we got now for channel membership? 67. That's crazy, right? 67 channel members, and then Patreon, I think I have like 77 or 78. So pretty soon here, I'm gonna do one of the shows where it's just for channel members and Patreon. It won't make me not do a show later. It'll just be like an hour show. We can talk about maybe cases that they want me to cover, something like that. Yeah, I do have a few that are crossovers. So thank you, Nona. Appreciate that. Well, the thing is that the membership on YouTube, that the low level one, I think it's $1.99. So you basically get almost. Well, here's the thing: if you're on Patreon and you want to have the blue and all that, it's just $1.99 a month. And I've already given you on Patreon the 20% off on the merchandise, and that's really what the third tier has on the YouTube membership. Toy Aries said, "What I love in this channel is Gray will not bend on the way he does things. Facts first, and no bowing down to the idiots who want to virtual signal or passive aggressive attack." Yep. I'm pretty good at seeing passive aggressive too. They think they're really being clever, but as soon as you bring it up to them, and that the classic response of a passive aggressive person is to find the way less likely, but the less nefarious meaning of what they said. So they always word things like they'll say, "Wow, that's awesome, man. Boy, that's great." You know, you can tell because this is a person that's a troll type. So they'll type it in over and over again in a way that's really sarcastic. And then you say, "Oh, God, you're full of crap." And they'll say, "I said how great it was. What do you mean?" Yeah, that's true, Jules. I've lost a few. I'll say that. I know. I was thinking of doing makeup. What do you guys think? Maybe. What about you, True Crime Theater? Maybe you could start doing a little segment where you put a little makeup on, and then go into the police blotter. I can't remember what that's called. The mug shots. That's right, mug shot. Yeah, put a little makeup on, you know. All right. We could do like a collaboration where I put a little makeup on my screen and then you're on the other one. And yeah. Skincare for men. Shaving too. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I'm shaving. Yeah, so it would look something like it. I'd be on the air going like this. Yeah, so there was this body in a bucket. Well, it wasn't a real body. It was actually arms and a leg in the bucket. Or maybe that was the head. I can't remember. Yeah. All right, everybody. I think that's about it. I got to get off of here and do some exercise. Got to get on my bike. Yeah, glitter bomb that beard. Hey, thank you all for showing up tonight and hanging out. We got the new Stream Boss thing up in the upper left-hand corner. I think I'm going to fix that up the way I want it to be. The only thing I really need to keep is the name, the bar, and the numbers. The rest of it I can just... I think I can edit that stuff out and put my own stuff in there. Like I can even make the bar bigger if I want somewhere. Mr. Sparkles. Yeah, that's right. All right, so I'm not gonna do the flyby right now because I gotta get going. But again, I appreciate. Thank you for all the support on the channel, all the memberships. Let me go to my list here. I'm gonna have to. Oh hell, where is it? Ding. Oh. Well, you just reset De La Plante. Maybe it took too long or something. I don't know.
Just show him the new Stream Boss next time.
Oh, that's weird, because look at over here. It does have you in here. On this thing. Whatever the hell. Well, you can't see it. Huh. Maybe... I'm not sure why you didn't... that didn't work that time. I have to load something up. A page so I want to thank everybody. And it disappeared off my screen. All right. So here we go. Thank you to Jeff Fiedler, who became a member, Curious Georgia, Karen K with a massive donation there, Foxy Bot, and then Karen K with another massive donation, and then D. LaPlante with a massive donation, and then Sassmere became a member, and that's Sassmere for those of you who don't know her. And then also on PayPal we've got Cairo, and Cairo. So awesome. And there is my wife coming into the door right now. But hey, everybody, thank you guys all very much. I appreciate all the support. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Now notice I'm waiting